Move quick, guys. Y'all stay sharp. Tomorrow, we ready for number 5?
Coach, I have a question. After this test,
Landon, we ready for number 5? What?
after this test, I still want to do this stuff.
No, we're done with this time. All right, here we go. We're going to change everything that we can change. So, cosine on top is already good. I leave it cosine. The bottom, cosecant, I can change that into 1 over sine. And the other side was already good. I don't have to change it. All right, any question on the first step? All right, next step. This is the step that's giving y'all some trouble. We have to find a common denominator. So look, Katie, right here. What's going to go on the bottom in my common denominator on these two fractions? Good, because it's 1 of everything on the bottom. It's just going to be sine x. Now remember what I asked y'all to do on this. Write your common denominator here and write it here. Write it beside each fraction up top. All right, what cancels out on the first fraction? Signs cancel out, so you just bring over a 1. Now, nothing will cancel out on the second fraction. How come? Nothing on the bottom. They're both on top, so you times them and get sine squared. All right, that's probably the hardest step you're going to have to learn. Probably like 3 of those on the test. Now, the rest of it's pretty easy. All right, is everybody caught up? All right, Ashlyn, look at this right here on top. Before I do keep, change, flip, I think I can change that into something. I think that's one of our formulas. Check your sheet. Tell me what 1 minus sine squared changes into. So I'm going to erase that and put cosine squared. All right, last step is normally keep, change, flip. It is on this one too. Keep, change, flip, and you're done. So I keep the top, cosine x over 1. And I flip the bottom, which would be sine x on top, cosine squared on bottom. What cancels out? 1 cosine here and just 1 cosine here. So I'm left with sine on top and cosine on bottom. That changes into tan x. All right, that is one of the harder problems on the test. You can skip some steps, but show me enough where I know that you know what you're doing. All right, next one. I need to slow down, y'all tell me. We're on number 6. Now, number 6 is going to be really, really easy. What kind of problem is number 6? Full method. So we're going to full this out, all right? Sine times sine is sine squared. Sine times -1, I just put negative sine x. 1 times positive sine x is just plus sine x, and 1 times 1 is -1. Okay, Ashlyn, do you remember on Tuesday, what did I say is going to happen every time we have a full method problem? Yeah, the middle is going to cancel, and it cancels again on this one. And as far as I'm concerned, y'all can just skip doing that step. I'm left with sine squared minus 1. Pretty sure that's one of your formulas. Cosine squared is our answer. So I thought 5 was tough. I thought 6 was pretty easy. Yep.
Will that work? Because cosine squared x is 1 minus sine squared x.
Sine squared minus 1. Let's check.
And I couldn't find that.
Oh, she's right. I assumed it. You're right. All right, look. I messed up. Sine squared x minus 1 and 1 minus sine squared are not the same thing because the minus is in different places. That's on me. I made that problem thinking they were the same thing. What I should have done, Liddy, was flipped it around. I should have had 1 plus sine x here and 1 minus sine x there. Wow, I did it wrong in the first block too. Thank you. I'll fix that for next year. So I meant to have it like that instead of like that so it would work. My fault. So I'll make sure I'll fix it on the test where it will work.
So, but it's gonna be the same answer.
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing though. Just pull it out. So since there's not a formula for this one, guys, you would have had to leave it sine squared minus 1. And I'm never gonna give y'all a problem on purpose where it doesn't simplify down to one word, so I just messed up. All right, so 7 looks pretty easy. All right, let's go through and change everything we can change. Laney, what does secant change into on number 7? Good. All right, next I got sine. That one's already good. Don't have to change that one. Laney, what does tangent change into? All right. Samara, we're good on those. That's easy. Just copying that off your paper. Now, to do this problem, we have to know, do I subtract these two first or do I times these two first? You always multiply before you add or subtract. So, nothing's going to cancel. So when you multiply it straight across, let's see what we get. Sine times sine is sine squared. 1 times cosine is cosine. So I multiplied those two fractions, and that's what I brought down. All right, now here's the step again where you have to know how to do a common denominator. Now, the one we did a minute ago, which was this one, I think. Anyway, they didn't have the same thing on the bottom. It's a little harder. This one's easy. Samara, when they have the same thing on the bottom, you just bring it down one time. All right, and then whatever they had on the top, just bring it down into the top of the fraction. Lydia, is it 1 minus sine squared or sine squared minus 1? It's 1 minus sine squared. Okay. All right, now, it should be easy from here. 1 minus sine squared changes into cosine squared by your formula on your paper. So what's my final answer going to be after I start with cosine? Good. All right, so that was 7. Let's go to 8. Okay, Ashland, number 8, we've got another FOIL method problem just like we had on number 6. Now, number 6 was kind of hard. Sorry, number 6 was kind of easy. 8's a little harder. All right, because we need to go through first and change everything we can change. So, 1's okay and cosine's okay. I'm just going to bring those down. All right, Katie, what do I change cosecant x into?
1 over sine.
Cotangent changes into cosine over sine. All right, so you know that you need to go through and change everything. Everything that you can change. All right, so now let's FOIL it out. Now the first step's easy. Look, when you times 1 by 1 over sine, anytime you multiply by 1, it's just going to be 1 over sine times it by 1. All right, next, Samari, I times this one by 1, so it's going to be the same thing. Just bring it down. All right, next step is where some kids have trouble. We got to times these two together, and sometimes they don't know what to do. Well, that's cosine over 1, correct? Nothing's going to cancel, guys. So when you multiply straight across, you get cosine on the top, and you get sine on the bottom. Cosine times 1 is cosine, 1 times sine is sine. Yeah, we'll get to that next. Yeah. Last, we times these two. Cosine times cosine is cosine squared, and sine stays on the bottom. All right, like Zoe just pointed out, every time you have a FOIL method problem, middle's going to cancel out every time. So, guys, I'm fine with y'all skipping those middle steps. Just skip over. So, now, what do we've got? We've got a situation again where I've got to find a common denominator. So, do these already have the same denominator? That's the question. Yep, so I just write sine on the bottom one time, and I bring both tops down into one fraction. That's pretty easy. If you can FOIL it out, the rest of it's pretty easy. Y'all finish it from there. Ashland, change that 1 minus cosine squared into whatever it changes to.
And it changes to.
All right, and then cross
So the
out.
answer would be sec 2x.
No, just
Okay,
sign, I
wait.
think.
13 squared
What?
minus 12 squared.
It would just be sign.
Oh my gosh, it's just.
It's supposed to be the
Wow.
See if that gives you 13
So,
square minus 12 square, whatever
I
it gives you,
see.
take the
This
square root.
one, this wasn't.
All right, what'd y'all get for an answer? Because that's going to be sine squared. So it's just sine x.
Wait, can't, is this in parentheses? Oh, no, minus.
All right, so 6 was easy. I thought 7 and 8 were harder. 5, 7, and 8 are harder problems on the test. All right, let's go over 9. All right, originally 9 looks like this. It says 1 plus tan squared. All right, Laney, what's new about 9 and 10? They got something extra.
Equals sign.
Got an equal sign. So when you have an equal sign, you've got to make the left side equal the right side. So what we did, Ashland, all week, if we had a fraction on the left and a fraction on the right, the best way to do this one is by cross multiplying.
Don't you gotta change the top?
There you go. I was going to get to that next.
Oh,
Good.
sorry.
Before we cross multiply, Samari's right, let's change the top if it will change. What does it change into?
Sec x 2x.
Secant squared.
Secant squared.
Write that down. Just draw a line through what you got, Samari, and write down secant squared over it.
I did it.
Now, when you cross multiply, it shouldn't be that bad. What do I get when I times this way? Secant squared times 1 is secant squared. Okay? Now I got to go back this way. Now look, we've got to multiply cosecant squared times tangent squared, but we can't do that unless I change them first. Cosecant squared changes into 1 over sine squared.
Wait, so I
Go ahead.
already changed it on number 9. I changed it before I multiplied. So I put secant squared over 1 over sine squared.
Where'd you get sine squared from? Oh, you can change that one. Okay. I got you. So, no, wait until you start cross multiplying before you change it. So now I'm going to multiply that one and that one. So I changed cosecant squared, and now I changed tangent squared. Now, help me. What cancels out? Let's see.
Sign.
Signs cancel. So here's what I got left over. Samari, I got a 1 left on top and a cosine squared left on the bottom. Now I'm supposed to make them the same thing. Look on your formula sheet at the top. What does it say that 1 over cosine equals? 1 over cosine x equals secant x is what it says on your paper, right?
Right.
So if it's 1 over cosine squared, then you just make it equal secant squared.
So your 1 over sine squared, that came from your
Cosecant?
cosecant?
Uh-huh. And tangent squared changed into that, because I had to times them.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter which one you put first, Laney.
So the answer secant squared is 1.
So the answer is secant squared on the left and secant squared on the right.
Right.
On the problems that you have where you got the equal sign in the middle, you're going to make the left side and the right side equal the same thing.
That. You said when you have the equal sign in the middle, the left and right equal sign.
Say it again.
I had to repeat you to put it in my mind.
Okay. All right, that's 9. Can we go to 10? All right. 10 doesn't look bad. All right, we ready? Let's go through and change it. Samari, do I need to change the first one or is it good?
It's good.
Cosine is good. So we leave cosine x. Samari, what does secant x change into?
1 over CSC.
COC. Oh, sorry, COS. Sorry. Secant changes into 1 over cosine. It's at the top of your page.
Oh, you talking about secant? I be thinking about sin.
Sine.
Sign.
All right, so there's like 3 different ways you could do this problem. The way I've showed y'all all week, this is the easiest. I said, let's just go ahead and distribute. That's easier, I think, than finding the common denominator. So Ashland, when I times these two together right here, is anything going to happen? That's going to cancel that, right? So I end up with just 1 for that.
What's going to cancel?
That cosine there cancels that cosine there, because that one's on top and that one's on bottom. All right, now I times these two, they're not going to cancel because they're both on top. Cosine times cosine is cosine squared. All right, do y'all see any way now we can make the left
Yes.
side equal to the right side? How?
Look on the paper. and
Look on the
for
paper.
1 minus
There you go.
S and
Sine squared on the left and sine squared on the right. I think y'all gonna be able to do those. All right, so what we're gonna do in the morning before we take the test, I'm gonna give y'all another sheet like the front because y'all need the most practice on that. We're only gonna do the back right now, and I'm not gonna go over the back again in the morning because I think
So
you'll
you
understand the
just type in
back.
the calculator.
Pretty much. You copy the formula off the paper, type it in the calculator. All right. Let's go to 11. Sorry, I guess I numbered them wrong. I started back at number 7. Don't know why I did that either. All right, Samari, we just did this problem on the warm-up. It says use your half-angle formula. So what I
Yeah,
want you to
and,
do, what does the half-angle formula for cosine say at the bottom of your paper?
X over 2.
All right, and then what's it say on the right side of the
1
equal
plus
sign?
cosine X over 2.
Everybody good with that? So all we have to do, remember, is find out what number do I plug in right here. How do we get that number?
Times 180.
Times by 180 over pi first, and then you double it. So let's do that. 7 pi over 8 times 180 over pi. I got a decimal. I got like 315 over 2. Double that. It's 315. So y'all stop me if I messed up. Am I good? So 315 goes there. I'm not used to having fractions on that. So now go back, plug that in your formula. You will have to plug in the word cosine this time. 1 plus cosine 315 over 2. 0.9239, Lydia? 0.9239. All right, y'all do 8 the same way we did 7. Shouldn't need my help. I have to label each side on the triangle. So, Samara with her new glasses, what's the formula on that board for cosine?
X over R.
So watch. 7 goes on the x-axis, 25 goes on the radius. How do I find the missing side in my calculator?
25 squared.
All right, Laney, do it and tell me what you get. 25 squared minus 7 squared.
I got 24.
24 sounds good. As long as it's not a decimal. I'm not going to give y'all one where it's a decimal. All right? All right, next triangle, Samara, we got to do it the same way. The formula for sine is y over r.
Alright.
So 12 goes here, 13 goes here. Samari, how would I use my calculator to find the missing side?
Squared.
13 squared minus 12 squared. I got 5. Now, hopefully everybody can do that all by yourself tomorrow. 9, 10, 11. All right, the next 3 problems I'm giving you are really easy. Okay? Ashlyn, if I want you to find the answer for sine of x, first thing you got to know is which triangle do I look at, the first one or the second one? Good. Now, the formula for sine is y over r. So, there's my y, there's my r. Your answer is just 24 over 25. That's all you got to do.
How do you know which one to look at?
Alphabetical order, Lane. X comes before y. And look, the x is on this one anyway, and the y is on that one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to write down my sine of x up
X is
here.
on the bottom, right?
For what?
X is always on the bottom of the quadrant triangle.
It's always flat.
Okay.
All right, next, the formula is x over r. So, Mari, I need what the fraction is going to be for cosine of y. First of all, which triangle are you going to look at if it says that?
Right.
Okay, so what's x on top and r on bottom going to give?
5 over What is it? 13.
Very good. 5 is your x, 13 is your radius. All right, Laney, you got the next one. It says tangent of y. Your formula, y goes on top, x goes on bottom. What's my answer?
Hey,
Hang on, we'll just let Laney finish this. 12 over. Yeah, because x-axis is always flat.
How did you get the 24? What did you do to get 24? on the other
25 squared minus 7 squared
side? I
equals,
tried that.
and that gave me 576. Then I took the square root.
Oh, okay.
Did you forget to take the square root?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, y'all might be wondering why am I writing these answers down again up here, because remember, we can find all the other answers just by looking at these, and I won't have to rewrite them. I won't have to look them up again. All right, number 12. I'll do 12 with you, then y'all can do 13 by yourself. Cosine of x plus y. All right, everybody find that on your formula sheet. Show me where it is, Samara. Cosine of x plus y is
Somewhere.
right there. Cosine of x, cosine of y, and a minus, right? Cosine of x, cosine of y, then a minus, sine of x, and sine of y. Does everyone see where that formula is? Alex, you see it? Show him, Lane.
I don't see it either.
Taylor, turn around and show him on your paper. Just point to it.
Oh, never mind.
Do I need to show you too?
I see it.
All right, Olivia, show her. Storm, you see it? It's all right. All right, so, Alex, all you got to do to get this one right is now bring the answers down that we already have up top. So, Samari, first they want us to bring down cosine of x. That was in your instructions. That's 7 over 25. Next, they want you to bring down cosine of y. We found that on like number 7 or 8 somewhere. 5 over 13. Sine of x is 24 over 25, and sine of y is 12 over 13. And you'll have to type that in exactly like it's written down on the board. So let's type it in. All right, I got a pretty nasty fraction. I got negative 253 on top over 325, and the decimal for that is negative 0.7785. I don't care which way y'all write it. Y'all want to write them all decimal, that's fine with me.
What if you just want to write a fraction?
That's fine with me too. All right, so if anybody did not get that, I will come look at your calculator.